My name is Akinsonya Olatamiwa and I am here live at Future Clan Bootcamp. I signed up for content and copywriting class and so far it has been so amazing. Believe me, when I say the classes has been so educative, they are so insightful, they are fun, there is just a lot to learn and the facilitators are so good at coming down to our level. You know, when you actually break things down to an extent that even someone who has no previous knowledge about this thing would actually understand. So yeah, the classes has been amazing. We've had group works, lots of presentations, and I would actually recommend this to everyone. And I just want to say a very big thank you to Incubator for actually bringing together this amazing program, because I mean, this is no joke at all. Bringing 1,000 plus people for this on a full scholarship, I would recommend this to anyone and everyone I know. Thank you so much.
Okay. Okay. Um. Let's see if they cannot hear me. This one. Jesus Christ. Speak out. Set you. Okay. Can you hear me now? Okay. Because the students say they can't hear me. Okay, that's fine. Let me share my screen back. Okay, you guys can hear me now. Okay, that's awesome. Awesome. That's fine. Right. Awesome. So I will share my screen back now. Okay. Okay. Sorry, apologies. Okay. Okay. Okay, so apologies on that. I think it's audio is fine now. Okay, thank you. Thank you guys. I appreciate. All right, thank you. Okay, so let's continue. So like I said by now everyone should have access to, yeah, irrespective of the database you are using, whether you are using Microsoft SQL Server, whether you are using Postgres, whether you are using MySQL. So I said by now everybody should have access to a respective database you are using, and you should be able by now you should have boldly to say that okay, you can create a database, you can create table, you can write some query that can give you average salary, total salary, those different SQL command update alter that we'll discuss, right? I think by now we should be able to do that, right? So please, I will also advise that you should also continue going over and over all the classes we've had, right? So that because you have to go over the class, to be honest, right, before you can now be able to perfect, and then you have to search for more informations online or make use of YouTube, right? for better understanding, right? Because in the course of the class, we might not be able to touch everything, but right, so but you have to go further, right, for you to be able to uh get everything, right? So thank you. So for this week now, we'll continue with our SQL operator. Continue with SQL operator. We'll be looking at SQL join. We'll be looking at union, union, all intersect, and then from there we'll be also looking at SQL view, how you can create your SQL view, how you can update your SQL view, then how you can delete your view, right? Then we also talk about the importance of SQL view as well. Then under the join too, we're going to look at the type of join: right join, left join, inner join, full outer join, and so on. Then we also try to look at the to differentiate between union and union all, right? Differentiate between union and union all, then intersect. So these are the things that we, in the course of the week, will be looking at, right? Now, but all the way, if you can see my screen, we just quickly need to go through SQL logical operator, right? Last week we talked about we make use of them. Last week we talked about between, hand, right? Now let's now look at what between, hand, and basically SQL logical operator. What do they stand for, right? What do they stand for? From my screen, you can see all. So when we say all, it compares a value to all values in another value set, right? Like I said, SQL is an English statement, or is an English language, right? It's English because it is what you say that you will now write down, right? Because if you have a database and you want to query your database, right? So that is what you will definitely say, right? Like hand, you know how you use hand, right? Everybody knows how you use hand, right? So it allowed the existence of multiple conditions in an SQL statement, right? It allows, so you want to write a SQL query that said, okay, between hand, between people that earn salary between 500, hand, these are the SQL logical operator, hand 1000. Then look at the word any, right? It compares the value in the list according to the condition. Then between is used to search for value that are within a set values, right? You are searching for a value within your data set, not beyond your data set. So it helps you to search for value within your set of value. Like I said, you write an SQL query that you want it to return an output that exists within your data set, right? That exists within your data set. Then I think I used in last week for one of our query, right? So it compares a value that specified list value, right? Compare value that specified list value. So basically you use it when you are trying to specify the list value. I can say, okay, I want to return an output in, I can say select all, where staff ID in, maybe I want to return 2 or 3 staffs, right? I want to get information of 2 or 3 staff. I can say select all from table where customer ID in, then I will now put it in brackets. Then not, it reverses the meanings of any logical operators. You can use not between, not in, right? Then or. So I think or, hand and or, I was opportune to take you guys during your Excel class, hand and or function. And I made mention that hand and or function remain the same in Excel, remain the same approach, the same meaning in SQL, the same thing in Power BI, even in Python, right? Yeah, so we're going to look at and or, like a repeat of what we did in Excel. Then exist, it's used to search for the presence of a row in a specified, right? In a specified table. Then like so, there are so that's SQL logical operator, right? So this one is SQL arithmetic operators, which we can go through this and try to understand greater than, less than, greater than, equals to, less than, equals to, not equal, and so on like that. Now let's look at the SQL join, right? From the word join, we already know what we are trying to what we are talking about. When you say you join two things together, you are trying to join two things together to make it one, right? You join is how should I put it now? You have two tables, right? You have two tables, you want to join the two tables together, or you have three tables and you want to join them together to make it one, right? To make it one, two table or three tables to make, so that's what actually join means, right? So SQL join means to combine two or more tables. So in SQL, join clause is used to combine the records, right? The record from two or more tables in a database. So let's say, for instance, now we already have a three tables we are working with: employee table, salary table, and then payment table, right? Now, if you want to do a company-wide table, a single table for all the companies, you can now join all those three tables together to make it a single table. That's where you join together. Then we're talking about different type of join. We have inner join, right join, left join, and full join, right? Now look at this diagram, right? Look at this the diagram. I think everybody, one of us, we did what they call it, set theory in mathematics, right? It's that the same approach. This look like a set, right? This look like a set. So you can see the inner join. If you look at the first one, there's inner join. So it means what inner join is going to do for you. Okay, let's look at the program and let's look at the definition for each of them. So inner join select record that have matching values in both tables, as long as the condition is what is satisfied. So what inner join is that inner join look at the table A and look at the table B and return the value that matches the both table, right? So if, let's say, for instance, you have a table A, it has 10 record, table B has 5 record. So when you are using inner join, it will search for values that matches, right? So at the end of the day, my only just 3 or 4 values that matches on both table, then it will return it for you. So that's what inner join does for you. Then left join. So left join is also look at the left join return all the values from left table, right? And the matching value from the right tables. So if there is no matching join value, then it will return null. So what this basically means is that you have table A, you have table B, right? Table A is your left join. Then white is your left table, while the table B is your right. Now, so when you now execute your query, the table B will search, that's the left table will search all the informations, right, in the other table. So it will only now return any values that matches, right? So the one that did not match, what will happen? It will return null for you. It won't return, it will only return null. You will now see null in the other table. All right. That's what left. Then right is the opposite. Right is what? Right join is the opposite. Then full join. So full join will just combine all the tables together. The table A, the table B will just combine everything. So what full join is the result of combination of both left and right outer join. So join tables have all the records from both tables. So it pulls null on the place of matches not found. So any place that it doesn't find any value, it will put null there. So that's what the SQL join does. I think we've talked about SQL aggregation function, talking about count, sum, average, minimum, max, right? Now let's look at the SQL set operation. Here now we're going to talk about union, all, and intersect, right? And intersect. Okay, someone is asking if I may understand it, sir. That means the join here kind of a function, like a lookup function in Excel. Yeah, you are right. You are right. But in the one in Excel, the lookup in Excel, we cannot establish whether it's doing full join or right join or inner join. Okay, I did so the one in Excel can actually like inner join because it's going to return only the values found. So we can say it's more or less of inner join. The one in the lookup is more or less inner join. Yeah. Right. Okay. Now let's look at set operation. So SQL set operation allow you to combine the result of two or more select query. Now, so this operation treats the result set of each query as a mathematical set. Here you can see now. So once you understand set theory in mathematics, you understand this set operation. So it enables you to perform set operation like union, intersection, right, and the difference in them. So there are three types of set operation. So we have union, all, and intersect, right? Union operation is used to combine the result of two or more SQL select query, right? So union is used to help you to combine. Now, there are a lot of questions around union. You are using it to combine two or more tables together. Then join, you are also used to combine two or more tables together. What is now the difference between? See, I would like you guys to understand the difference between when you are union tables together and then when you are union tables together and then when you are joining tables together, right? I would like you guys to understand because by the time you get to Power BI, you're going to talk about things around merge and append. Merge and append, right? So in SQL, append is called union, while in Power BI is called append. But in SQL database is a union. Then why join? In SQL is join, but in Power BI it's referred to as merge, right? So in when you are doing join, you are join columns together. Let's say for instance now you have a table. You have a table that has 10 columns. Then you have another table that has 5 columns. So in the first table that has 10 columns, you just only need three columns. Then the other one that has 5, maybe you need all those 5. When you now join them together, it becomes 8 columns in a single table. That's what join does for you, right? You are joining column. Let me just put the way you understand. You are joining column. But in union, you are joining by rows. So meaning in union, they must have the same number. The data must be of the same structure. What I mean by the same structure is that they must have the same number of columns, the same data type. The same number of columns, the same data type. So when you are doing union, so the same. So if table A has 10 columns, table B the wants to union must have the same number of columns too, right? So before you can union. Now, so let's look at now, go back to the definition again. So now said, okay, the union operation eliminates duplicate row from its result set. So meaning when you are using union, it allows you to remove duplicates. But when you are using union all, it doesn't remove duplicates. If you have 10 records here, 10 records here, whether there are duplicates or not, it returns everything, make it 20. But when you are using union, that's union all. When you are using union, there are duplicates. It won't return the 20. It will only return, it will remove duplicates. If there are duplicates, then return the remaining results for you. Then intersect, it's used to combine two statements. So intersect operation return the common rows from the select. So this intersect also, most time you only look at the values here, are they match or not? Once they match, it will return it for you, right? It has no duplicate and it's arranged the data in ascending order by default, right? Now, so before we go to SQL view, let's go. I think we are on the same page, right? We're on the same page now. So let's go to our practical. Let's go to the database, right? So here is my database, right? So Sylvester. So that means that union had rows while join had column. Yes, that's what I just said. You are correct. You are correct. You join by row. So once you understand that principle, that is the principle you apply in Power BI as well. Okay. Now, so I'm going to open my SQL query, the new query now. Right, click on the new query. Then the first thing I'm going to do is that the data set where we stopped last in our last class, so I want to continue there. So I'm going to open I will go to my file, go to open, then the file again, right? Then I will go to where I saved it. I save it in it's saved in document SQL server, then I name it DSA query. Then I'll open it. So these are the SQL query we've been using from the beginning of the class, all right? And this is where we stopped in our last class, right? Okay, then I'm going to change this to DSADB, right? Then let me increase my font. I think we are good now. Okay. So in our last class, we talked about greater than, less than, greater than. Then we look at the range operators. We talk about between and not between, right? So these are where we stopped in our last class. Okay. So I think we are all on the same page, right? So we'll continue with the logic. We'll continue with the let's start. We're going to start with the list operators. Talk about in and out and not in, right? So we're going to start from here today. Today is 18th 05 2025, right? So we're going to talk about list operator, right? That's what we are starting with today. List operator. So what are the list operators? Number one is in. Two is not in, right? In and not in, right? So I'm going to talk about these two, in and not in. Okay, 19, sorry, thank you. Right. Now, so like I said, now let's look at in and not in. Now, for instance, now if I write a SQL query that says select all from employee table, right? Right, this is our employee table, right? This is our employee table. So I want to use in now. So I want to see it. I want it to return some staffs, right? Maybe I have some staffs. I only know the staff ID, but I don't know their name, right? So I want to get the full information about them. So I can say select all from staffs where staff ID, right? In, you can see the way I'm using in. Then I'll open a bracket. So I want to return AB270, right? I want to return AB286, right? Then let's add one more, AB401, right? So I'm going to close the bracket. Now, so if I run this now, it's going to return the information about these three stuff, right? Let's execute. So you can see. So you can see now, right? So that is how you can use in, right? So like I said it's help you to search for information within your set value that is exists within your data, right? So in a situation like this, you can use in, right? You can use in. You can also use in form of first name, right? You can also use first name this time around. Let's say for instance now. So I can say where first name right? First name. Let me check this. I can get. I can say where first name is Johnson, right? First name here, right? The first name here. Okay, right? So you can use this as well. You can use department, right? You can see that we only specify 3, but the output where we is 4 because now it's returning. It will return like this in case of Johnson now. It will return every staff that their first name is Johnson, right? If you have 10 staff that their first name is Johnson, is going to return them, right? It's going to return all the staffs, right? Now that's how you can use. So the opposite is now. If I come back to this place now and I put not in, what will be the output? I want to know now if you actually follow. What would be if I execute query 205 206? What will be the output? Right. No, now I'm using not in. It will return under staff ID, means they are excluded, right? Except those selected. People that do have those names. All staffs ID except those identified. Okay. Everything except those 3. Yes. Everything aside the one in bracket. Yes. It will return every other name except the one you listed. Yes. It will return other ID other than the specified. Yeah. So you guys are correct. You guys are correct. Everyone is correct, right? So what's going to happen that is going to return all the stuff, then exclude these 3, stuff. So instead of returning 3, it will exclude this. So I'm going to execute this now. So you can see now. So if you check now, this guys 270, 286, 401 is not there, right? That's what not in does. So you don't, in case that you have you want to return an output, but you want to exclude some information, so you can use not in, right? Then if it is name you are using, you can also use not in as well. So I think we are good now. So let's talk about logical operator now. Logical operator. Right. So talking about logical operator. So like I said, so a logical operators perform a logical operation in a group or in a number. Is that when you have it in a group? right? So SQL logical operators also combine conditions in a where clause. So these are the way you can use logical operation. So what are the logical operations? Logical operations are hand, then or, right? Hand and or, right? I believe by now everybody should be laughing or should be just saying, this is very simple, right? Because we're talking about this, right? And it's still the same, and it's still the same approach, right? It's still the same approach. Now, I'm going to quickly explain what and or they are, then before we look at it practically. Now, when we talk about hand function, or when we talk about hand logical operator, I can refer to it as a hand function or hand logical operator, right? So it is true if all the conditions is true, right? It is true once all the conditions are true. So what it means is that once one of the condition is false, what happens? Everything will be false. And I think you guys still remember the example I gave to you that in school, whereby if you don't pass mathematics or English, you can't be promoted. And meanwhile, so if as a student, if you pass one and you fail the other one, you are not going anywhere. That's what and function means. So it means you have to obey the two conditions, right? So the and operator is a logical operator that tests multiple conditions and return true or false. So depending on whether they met or not. So meaning that so both conditions must be true before it will return true. So if one of the condition is false, it will return false. Right? So if one of the condition is false, it will return false. Right? So that is AND function. Now let's look at it. Let's write some SQL query that shows AND function. Then we already know that or is the opposite of hand, right? Or is the opposite of hand, right? So it means in or, even if you don't need to satisfy both condition before it will return true. Once one of the condition is true, it will return true. That's all function for you. So that means that you don't need to pass the two subjects. Once you pass one subject, automatically you can be promoted, or you can be qualified, or you can be disqualified. Right? Now, so let's look at employee table, for instance. I'm going to say select all from employee, right? Where first name, let's say first name, let me use first name, right, is equals to, let's say first name is equals to this, right, and gender is equals to female. Now, if you look at these two conditions, the first thing you need to pay attention to is that we have a column first name, we have a column first name, and we also have a column called gender. So we now look at, is there any one, right, that's Adebowale as the first name, and the gender, and the person's gender is also female? We are not sure, right? We are not sure. So meaning we have to now run it now. So if you check, so meaning now, if you look at these two conditions, this one and this one, if they did not satisfy the two conditions, if they did not meet the condition, it will return empty. Your table will be empty. Right? Now, let's check. You can see that the table is empty, meaning it's peradventure that is only one condition that is satisfied. The other condition is not satisfied. So you can see that it returned empty. Right? The table is what? Is empty. The table is empty. Now, let's change this one. Let's rewrite it and now change this one to male, right? And let's see. So you can see. So now they both satisfy the conditions. So you can now see that I say staff, that is the first name is this and the gender is this. All right. I think we are together, we're on the same page. So that's what hand does for you. Now, if I go back now, if I copy this again, now I want to use then I change this. Let's make this one now female again. Then I change this one to her. Right. You see now, here is going to return an output because you can see that there is a first name, Adebowale. There is also a gender that's female, but is this guy, is he also a female? Now check. See what is going to return for you. Basically, it's going to return every, the only condition that is met, it will return your first name. But what is checking is going to check for female, right? Or maybe let's use another example, right? Let's use another example. Let's make this boy. Let's look like this. We have a first name, right? That is Adebowale, but we don't have a gender that is a boy. Or under the gender, what we have is male or female, but we don't have a boy and a girl. Now, initially, if you run this one as AND function, it will return empty for you, right? But now, if you run it as her, let's see what it's going to return for you. You can see it's still going to return Adebowale for you because there is a name, first name, even though the other condition is not met, right? But the other condition, the first condition, which is first name is this, is satisfied. Then the other condition, it is not satisfied. So it will still return. But if you use AND function, automatically it's going to return empty for you. Right? So that is what all. We can also look at it in other. So the other condition now, you can also look at it. Let's look at the other tables we have and pick one example there. Let's select her from, let's say, salary. Right, let's look at this. Okay, let's look at the department now. So I can say where, let's say where first name is equals to Johnson, and let's use AND first, and department is equals to accounts. Now, we don't know whether this guy, who his first name is Johnson, whether it's in accounts department. We don't know. So let's use this. Now, this guy, his first name is Johnson, but he is not in the accounts department. Now, let's check. Let's use all to check his department. Now, so we're going to check, we're going to run this. So Now, look at what happened now. Look at what happened. The SQL query will look at the first condition, return everyone that is Johnson. Are you getting me? Then look at the other condition and return everyone in accounts department. I don't know if you guys understand it now. He look at the first condition, return everyone that's first name is Johnson. At least here we have two people that's name is Johnson, which they are in the first name is which they are information technology. Then also look at the other condition, accounts, and return everyone in accounts department. So automatically now the person we are looking for is in information technology. So if I go back now and rewrite my query, I change this one to information technology, information tech, then and execute. Now you can see that it's still returning everyone department, right? It will return Johnson, then it will also return everyone that is information technology. You can see what. So now in this scenario, now you'll be sound confused that why is he returning? Supposed to return only Johnson and information technology. That should be our concern, right? That should be our concern. Why is he returning? Supposed to give me only, I said, where first name is Johnson or department is information technology. But it's giving, your answer is giving your answer, but it's still adding some other guys in that department. So you look at first condition, return it, and also second condition. So I can say that when you are using it, just check your output, right? Just check your output and see what is given to you before you know whether you have the correct output or not. But you can use both when you are trying to search for information, because basically what logic operator is doing is to search for a values within your data set, right? So each criteria is either satisfied or not. Now because if you change this to hand, now okay, if you change this to hand, now it will return you can see now it return at least we have two people in the company that is bearing Johnson, but even though they are staff ID, they are in the same department, so return them, right? But if you change this to her, you get the opposite. It will return everyone that is information technology, that is Johnson, or everyone in the information technology, right? I think we're on the same page. Yeah, who's this? Oladeru Ademola. Yeah, we are saying the same thing, right? Yeah, you are correct. Now, let's continue. Now, let's do some updates. We've done update last class, but let's look at more examples around updates, right? Update. Your update is basically most thing that you'll be working SQL command you'll be using on your daily basis as a SQL, as a data analyst, or as SQL developer, right? So let's say for instance now, someone, let me run this. Let's say for instance, you have a candidate that you want to change his ID. Let's say I want to change ID. The ID can also be updated, right? ID can also be what? Can also be updated. So I can write a query that says update salary, right? Then set staff ID, right? To let's say staff ID to 26 8. You getting me? 268. Sorry, AB 268. Or sorry, let me make it, let's say 3 on 350, right? Where staff ID is equals to, let's say, AP 401. So maybe a staff is trying to change his ID, his working ID from one ID to another. So you can write your SQL query like this that will help you to update it, right? So if I run this SQL now, whoever that is the staff ID is 401, this guy here, this AP 401, it will automatically change to 350. It automatically changes to what? To 350. So you can update that. So I think we get that right. Up, why not use in? We only do for one. We only do for one. So I'm only updating one. And in this scenario, you can't use in. And there's no way you can update ID for many people. Let's see if you use case when. We are still going to get to a case when where you can do multiple. But in this scenario, you can't use in to update. Right? Who asked that question? So you can't use in, right? Okay. Now, let's continue with that update again. Now, let's say for instance, last year when the increase in fuel, when the federal government increased in the price of pump price, right? Especially we that is in Nigeria, everybody were affected, right? Everybody were affected, and so what happened was that a lot of organizations increased salary. Some banks in Nigeria increased their salary by 100%. Some companies increased by 5%. Some other companies. Let's say, for instance, that last year, Incubator Hub also increased the salary of their staff, right? So let's say, for instance, by 5%, increase all the staff of the staff of the company, everyone by 5%. Now, as a SQL developer or as a data analyst, you have been asked that, okay, the MD of Incubator Hub has increased salary by 5%. So go to the database, go to the salary table and increase everyone's salary and export your output to Excel or CSV and send to the finance so that he can use it to initiate salary for the following month. Right? So let's look at that. Update salary. Okay, let's say now. So the salary increase is 5%. That is 5%. 5% can also be or 0.05, right? Yeah, I think yes, should be 0.05. Now, how do I write a SQL query that will now update the salary of everyone? Right? Okay, let's look at it now. Update salary. I'm still going to use the same approach. Update salary. Set. Now, here, because it is everybody that is affected, everybody, maybe from the MD to the security man at the gate, 5%. 5%. There are different ways now you can now write this, right? Let's say set salary equals to, who can assist me now? How am I going to write my SQL query? I want to even see the fast learner among you guys, right? Okay, someone asked a question. If I want to ask if the staff ID you are trying to update is already the ID of someone, how can you check it? You can check it now. You can check, and automatically you can check if the ID of someone. So I'm just showing you that ID or everything. What I just show you that you can update first name, department. Someone can change department and update it. ID can be deleted, or they can say, okay, this ID of this guy is no longer. We can form another ID. So let's say, for instance, if the ID stop at 1000, you can update that person's new ID to 1001 or 1004, right? Depend. Yeah. Your question is valid, but you as the one in charge of the database, you have to check before you can give it to someone. Unless if the person has left the organization, then you can allocate that ID to another person. Right? I think that's clear, right? Okay, set salary is equals to 5%. Okay, David, set salary plus this and this. Okay. This your response. Who is this? David, you are already gone ahead of me. This is my second method, the second one I want to show, but you're already gone. Yeah. So David, see, your name is Ete Kamba, right? You are correct. Clap for yourself. Update salary, set salary this times this. Okay, coin day or passing it, you are correct, right? You are correct. You guys are correct, right? Right. Okay, at least I've seen two people that have given me the correct, right? Now, so I'm gonna say, so if I write this equation like this, salary, and that's this salary times 0.05. No. So when I say where staff ID, I want to ask a question. No, if everybody can see my query now, where salary, or sorry, where staff ID? Let's say for instance, I would just want to update. Okay, I don't need to because it's everyone. So I can just, if I execute this now, who can tell me what is going to happen? What will be the output of this? Salary times this. Someone that is any, let's say for instance, someone that is any 8,890. 8,890 times 0.05. Let's make the class interactive now. What will be the result? 5% of everybody. Increment. Is it going to increase, or it will just return only the increment? I want to know. Okay, so it's not going to give you the total salary now. It's not going to give you total salary. If I execute this now, it's not going to give me the total salary. I want you guys to pay attention. It's not going to give me the total salary. It will only give me the percentage increase. Let's say, for instance, now, if the person's salary is 10,000, what is 5% of 10,000? I think is 500, right? The output will just be 500. So, meaning this query is wrong, right? Unless if you want to, like, create additional table, right? I want to create a table to see the output. Sorry, the percentage increase before adding it together, right? Before adding it together. Yeah, you can do this now. So if I change it now, so what I need to do now? Okay, someone said, right? So so the correct way to do this is, someone has already told us now, is to either write it like this. Let me just copy this. I'll say, right, I'll just say 1. So what this means that salary now multiply by 1.0. So automatically it's going to take the whole salary, then add the percentage increase with it. That's number 1. Or you can also put it like this. I'm going to put it like this. It's going to be salary plus salary, right? Multiply this. So I'm going to put brackets here. Okay. Now let's look at this. Let's look at 245, 246. 245, 246. So what this 245, so what this is done, the one inside bracket is that it will by multiply the salary by the percentage increase, then add it to new salary. So if the person's salary is 10,000, right? 10,000 times 0.05, that was going to give you 500. Then plus the salary, the whole salary, which is 10,000. So the output we are expecting should now be 10,500. I don't know if this is clear now. If this is clear, it's the same thing as lines 42 and 43. 242 and 243, right? It's the same thing. So I just broke it down in a way like this. Okay, thank you. I want to believe that it's clear, right? Someone say that one means 100%, then plus current salary. Yeah, thank you, Savior Kalu. Right. So if I run this now, you see everybody's salary will definitely change. Right. So all the record is affected. So if you go back now, if you run this, you can see that the salary has changed. Right. So let's go on break. When we come back, we'll also look at it again. We'll do a recap for those that is not yet clear. Right. So let's go on break. When we come back, we'll continue. Right. Yeah. You can mark your attendance during the break. Thank you, everyone. Okay, welcome back, everyone. Can anyone hear me? Welcome back, everyone. Can anyone hear me? It is time. Are we still on break? Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let's continue. Okay. Um. So, like we were discussing before we went on break, right? So we're trying to update salary and say, let's say salary is, we increase the salary by 5%, right? And we wrote two, let's say three SQL queries. So, like I said, this is not right. If you use this one, it will only give you the percentage increase. It will not give you the total the percentage increase and the plus old salary. So, but if you use any of this, so it will add the percentage increase, then plus the old salary, then will give you the new salary, right? They will give you the new salary. Okay, so I think we are good now. So I would like to confirm if you understand this and we are on the same page before we proceed. Okay, do we understand this? Are we on the same page? Can we proceed? Okay. Okay, please explain why we needed to put the bracket between salary. Could it be because of the board mass? Mathematically, it's so what so the 242, 243 is that the percentage increase 100%, then plus the salary will give you this. Or if you chose to use this one, right? So what happens is that the one, so if the one inside the bracket, you have to follow board mass, right? Yeah, board mass bracket first. So you have to multiply the one, you have to work on the conditions inside the bracket. So meaning you have to multiply the salary and then the percentage increase, that is 5%. So when that is done, then you now add it to the one outside the bracket, that is plus the old salary to give you the new salary. To give you the new salary. Okay, so let's continue. Right. Let's look at join now. Right. I know this is where we need to pay more attention and then do a lot. Right. So we discussed about SQL join. And then also talk about the different type of join. We'll talk about inner join, left join, right join, and outer join. Right. So now someone is saying I don't understand. Okay, so what if the percentage given before was changed again after the 5% has been calculated already? What happened? Okay, let's say the management announced 5% this week and you've done your work and they now announce 10%. If that's your question, maybe the following week, it's not your concern. It's also your concern, right? But you need to now clear ask for clarification. So if you have done pass, if the customer, if they've announced 5%, right, and you've done your work, you've increased everybody's salary by 5%, your database is updated, you've exported the new schedule and sent to the finance department for the salary, right? And the following week, maybe before the salary, they now said, oh, we are not supposed to increase 5%, it's supposed to be 10%. So what you just need to do, go back and do another 5%. That's the only thing you can do. Or you can let them know, I've done 5%. Do you want me to do another 10%, or just subtract the 5% from the whatever the increase? Then if you said, oh, it is not 5% we did, it is 2% wants to do, what you can do is that you can go back. You might have to do a lot of work. I don't know the way you're going to do it, but it's something that you can still do, right? You've done 5%. And so in this scenario, it is good. When you are doing something like this, create a SQL view. When we get to there, yeah, the best thing is to leave your original table. Don't do it on original table. So that's the best answer I can give to you. So in a situation like this, once it is done, you can create a SQL view. We've not gotten this. Create a SQL view. Right, as new salary, right? Then as this. Now, so if I run this now, it will not, if I run this query, it will not affect the main table where we have the original old salary, right? So it is the view. So instead of affecting the new old table, the original table, no, it won't touch it. It will only react, it will only create a new table for you. That's what we are talking about when we get to the SQL view, right? Then when we get to there, so if the management now changed, okay, we're not supposed to give staff 5%, it's 3%. So automatically it is only your view that you can delete your view, or you can create another SQL view. You can have as many tables under your view. But don't worry, when we get to the SQL view, we're going to look at that. But the person that asked that question, so what you can do is to what? When you are doing something like this, right? Thank you for the question. Is to write a SQL view for it, so that your original table can still be intact, right? So whatever the what you are doing it on the SQL view, not on the original table. Not on the original table. Okay, someone is suggesting that you can take it back, set salary minus this, it will undo the percentage. There are many ways. Yeah, use this pressed. Okay, there are many ways you can do. You can do that. You can minus it back again and give you. But what I would suggest is that your education is okay. The best thing is to always do those things in SQL view. Don't do it on original table. Are you getting me? Don't do it on original table. You can just create a SQL view that will help you to do that. Because if you are doing this like a major work, you are still going to write a SQL query that will now minus it. Rather, you have done it on a SQL view. So what you just do, go back to your original table, create another SQL view again, and do the new percentage increase. It is favored like that. So meaning your original table is still intact. Okay, but let's proceed. But it gave an error when creating. We have not gotten to SQL view, so I don't know what's the error. Someone is asking, can we combine hand and haw in one SQL query? Yes, we can do that. We can do that. Okay, let me answer your question. Right, let me look at a query. Let's say select all from employee. Right, I think employee has, let me look at employee. Okay, employee, select all employee where gender is equals to, let's say, male, right? Then and date of birth is less than or equals to 90 90 90 0101 right? And state of origin, state of origin is equals to Lagos. Okay, right? Someone asked a question that is it possible that we can use, if that this is what you are asking, if you can use both. So let's say, let's look at this guy, this person. We are looking for someone who his name is gender. We don't know his date of birth, but what we know is that date of birth is less than 1990. I think he was born after 1990, maybe 1998, 2000. Then, and the state of origin is Lagos. So let's look at it. Now, if I run this now, will I get someone like that? No. Now, your question is that is it possible to combine hand and her together? So let's change this to her. Then let's see. Right? Okay. Now, why am I getting this now? If you now check this, you can see that everyone here, the date of this is less than, right? This output is not correct. We are not supposed to see anything. This is less than, right? Less than or equals to 1990. It's supposed to be from 1990 down. Why are we seeing 1982, 1990, 1998? So what's supposed to give us that people that their age is less than, or let me change this to less than. Let me run it again. Still give me the same thing. Okay, but you can actually use both, but even this output is not correct, right? You can actually use both. Let me change this to or and change this one to hand. Okay, so you can see now. So you can actually combine, but depend on what you want to get, right? Okay, so I actually know the reason why it's giving me that. Okay, someone said, okay, thank you guys. All right, I think so. Why is that? Because he has to check for gender, where gender is equals to male, right? And return that, and then return date of birth that is less than, then look at the state of origin, right? But if you use and throughout, it's going to return empty for you because none condition is met. But let me change this one to greater than if one condition will. Okay, now so we have people that is okay. I don't want to go too technical. I need to format this date, right? Greater than 1990. Format this date as a year. Okay, but you can actually use it, right? You can actually use it. You can combine different these two together, right? Okay. Okay, so let's continue with our updates. Sorry, our SQL query join. Okay, so SQL join. Okay, someone says it's correct, sir. Okay, all right. Maybe I'm trying to look at it. Yeah. But I didn't. What I should have done if I want to make the query, I don't want to go technical, is to make the query. Can't see my screen. Can anyone see my screen? Okay. Okay, that's fine. Thank you. Okay, thank you. So when we're talking about SQL join, like I said, SQL join is a clause, right? It's used to combine rows from two or more tables based on a related column between them, right? The SQL file has been, the data has been sent since, right? Data has been sent since. Now, so let's look at all our tables now. We have X select all from salary, right? Then select all from employee, right? Employee, okay, right. Now then we also have another table, select all from payment. Now if you look at this, all this table, you check this, we have 16 rows, 16 record. If you check this, we have 18, right? If you check this, right, we have 23. Now we want to join all these three tables together. We want to join all these three tables together. So that's basically what we're going to talk about, right? Joining tables together, right? We have all these three tables. We want to join them together. The salary table, the first name. So we're going to take it one after the other. The first thing we need to do is to join two tables together first. Then before joining three tables together, the first thing is to join two tables together before joining three tables together. Then we are going to use all the types of SQL to now see the difference between inner join, left join, outer join, or full outer join, right? So please, I would like everyone to pay attention to this, right? Now, so I want to join salary and employee table together first. Right, I'm going to join these two tables together. Right. Now, so I have employee table, and then I have, someone say not clear. Which one is still not clear? Is it SQL join? We're already on SQL join, no? Okay, yeah, I'll definitely send the SQL notepad for today. I'll send it. I'll share the file with everyone. I think I forgot in our last class, right? I will send it to you guys today, please. Apologies on that. I will send it. Someone is, how do we arrange? We've done this. We've done arrangements. How to arrange, right? We've done that. Go and watch last week video, right? Watch last week video. Please, let's continue. So we want to join salary table. We want to join salary table and then employee table together. And as we already know that for us to join these two tables together, there must be a unique identifier in both tables that we can use to join them together, which is the staff ID. That's the staff ID in the employee table. That's also the staff ID in the salary table. So that's what we are using. Now, what we need to do now is that if you check the employee table, how many columns do we have in employee table? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 columns. Then if you check salary tables, we have how many columns? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6. Now, are we joining all the columns together, or we just need some of the columns in both tables, right? So let's say, for instance, now in the employee table, I need first name. Maybe I just need the first name, gender, hire date. Then let's say paraventure, okay, first name, gender, hire date, state of origin. Right? I need that 4 columns. Then if you go to the salary table, I need salary ID. Then I've already got a first name in the employee table. So I only need department and salary. So I need 3 columns, department and what? And salary. Salary ID, department and salary. So making 7 columns that we need from these 2 tables. So how do we do that now? Right, when you are doing join. So I will now say select, right? So select, I will appreciate if every one of us can pay attention. Now select. Now when you are writing a SQL query for a join, make reference to the table. To the table name is very, very important. Make reference to the table name. I'm repeating it. Make reference to the table name. So let's say, for instance, now, like I said, I need 4 columns from this employee table. So the first column I need is, I will first say employee. That's the table name, right? Let me use small letter now. Small letter. The first thing I need is the table name, right? That's employee. I will now say dot. So what column do I need? I need staff ID. Right? Then I will say comma. Do you understand? Then employee ID, sorry, employee again. That's the table name. Then dot. What other columns again do I need? I need first name. Right? Then comma. Now I'm employee dot gender. That's, I need gender. Employee dot hire date. Right? Now, this is just the 4 columns I need from employee table. Right? Now, from the salary table, I will now say salary. That's the salary name. That's the table name. Dot salary ID. Dot salary ID, comma. Then salary dot, I need department, right? Comma. Dot salary dot, I need salary. Right? Now, this is all the columns I need now. I'm picking 4 from employee, then 3 from salary. Now, I will, from which table? So always know which one is which table has your primary key. Which table has your primary key? We already know that employee table has our primary key. So it's going to be from employee table. It can be vice versa, right? Employee table, right? Now, I'm going to use join. Now, I will not say inner join, left join, right join, or outer join for now. I'm going to just say join, right? Now, what am I doing? I'm joining salary table, right? What I'm doing is I'm joining salary table. I'm not say join salary. I'm joining salary table with employee table, right? Now, this is the query. Now, how do I model them together? How can I create the relationship now? So the next thing I need to do now is to now create relationship, now using the what? Using staff ID that is common in both table. And I say on salary dot staff ID, right, equals to employee, right, dot staff ID, right? Now, let me reduce this. So this is how to join two tables together, right? This is how to join. So now what is going to happen then now is that it's going to, by the time we execute, it's going to look at the employee table, look at all the staff ID there that also match staff ID in the salary table and return the output for me. I'm using join first. That's the default. Now, if I run this, so you can see return 16. Only return 16. So meaning he has checked both the table. So he only sees 16 record that matches, right? The other that is not matches, he will filter them out. It will what? It will filter them out, right? So we only return those that matches. Are you getting me? So if we look up things now, it matches all the record in the salary, right? Now let's go back and use now let's I don't know, before I proceed, do we understand? Because I want to test the type of join, left join, right join, so that let's see if you're going to give us the same output. But before I proceed, I want to confirm if this is clear. I want to get yes. Are we on the same page? Is it clear? Do I need to go over it again? Right, I need a response. Someone said, do we necessarily have to pick the columns? If you don't pick the columns, what do you want to do? You have to pick the column. That's blessing, Ilupeju. If you don't pick the column, what do you want to do? Unless if you are doing something like this, right? Unless if you are saying select all from employee, right? Select all from employee. Let me see. Is it going to work? Okay, select all from employee. Okay, and then copy this. Now, if you look at this now, let's see. Let me see something first. Now, if you look at this, what this is going to do for you, it will only return all the values from employee and also the values on the staffs. You know, it did not specify, so it's going to just join everything together for you. So that's what this one is going to do for you, right? Now, okay, explain again. Please go over it again. So what is the difference between SQL and Excel? This person, is he just joining up for the first time? Peace. I thought it's supposed to be on salary.salary ID. No. Head creator, no. It's not going to be salary ID because you don't have a salary ID in employee. Your primary key is you are going to use. Salary ID is not our primary ID. You can do that. I think we have it's payment ID. So you can't even use it. You can only use it if staff ID is not existing in your third table. But in these two tables, right, it is your staff ID you are going to use. Right, staff ID. Okay, let me go over it again. Right, now, so what I said is that you need to take some columns from employee and take some columns from salary. You don't want to join them together to form your table, right? And I said, okay, whatever the columns you pick in both tables, you have to reference the table's name, like employee.staff ID. So it shows that I'm picking staff ID from employee. Then I'll say employee first name. It means I'm picking the first name from employee. Gender, like gender, and if I don't specify, it will give me an error, because in both tables it can't recognize where I'm picking my gender, right? Then hire date, then from the other table, salary, I need salary ID, so I have to reference the table. Department from the salary table, then salary from the salary table, right? So once you do that, now the table that's our primary key is employee. That's our primary key is employee. So from employee, then join salary. That is the other table you want to join together. So on salary dot staff ID. So what you are now using here now is to use staff ID to link the two both. So what this query is doing for you is helping you to create a relationship that will help you to filter other values that does not match. That does not match. It will help you to filter it out. So that's what it's doing, right? Now, so if you run this now, so this is what you are getting. So like I said now, if we want to, say for instance now, we want to change this. Okay, before I go that, let me do something for you guys, right? So let's say for instance, I don't want to write the full of this employee. So I'll just say, okay, anywhere I see employee, I will represent it as E. Then anywhere I see salary, I will represent it as health, right? So I'll just come to this place. I'll just change this one to employee, change this one to, sorry, to E, right? Change this one to E, change this one to E, then change this one to S, change this one to S, right? S. So from employee, then in front of this you put E, in front of this one you put S, then here instead of this will now be S, then instead of this will be E. It doesn't mean there's no primary key in salary table. Who can answer this? My brother or my sister? Patient effort. He said, does it mean that there's no primary key in the salary table? Who can help me to answer her or him? Now, if you look at this now, you can see. So I can, if I run it now, I'm still going to get the same output. Okay, so you can see. So instead of writing, you can just specify initial like this, right? Okay. Now, I'm going to change this one to, let's start with left join. Oh, no, sorry, inner join first. Remember now, when we use normal join, we have 16 outputs. Right. Now, if I use inner join, let's see what we are getting. We are still getting the same thing, 16, right? Now, let's change it to left join. Now, we now have 18 record. So, what left join is now doing, you can see now, if you check the output now, you will see some are null, right? You will see this, you see this, you will see this. So meaning that your left table, sorry, your right table fetch the informations in the left table. So the output will now be, it will return all the results in the left table, right? Then we return everything to in right table, but where the information is not matched, it will return null. So meaning this person now, he has informations in the employee, but it doesn't have the information in the salary table. And if it's, I don't know if this is clear, right? Right. So you can see now, return 18, meaning there is this fellow which has informations in the employee table, but the person's information is missing in the salary table. So return all the informations, but in the informations where there is no match, it will return null. Please check, read the materials again. Where there is no match, it will return null. So that's what we experience here. Now, if I go back again and change this to right join, giving us 16. So right join and inner join is the same thing based on what is given to us. Then let's check for full outer join, right? Let's check for this. Right, so 18 records. Like I said, outer record will return all the value, but where there's no match, it will return none for you. Okay, it will return none for you. Someone say, why is my inner join returning? Do you have the same number of record with me? Just check. You only work with what you have in your data, right? Your inner join work as the same thing as your normal join, right? So it means that's the only thing will return for you. Do you have the same number of record with me? If you have, then something must be happening. Mine 16. Okay. Someone is saying, can I save query output, not the query? Yes, you can. That's don't worry. These are the things we're going to talk about under SQL view. Right? When I talk about SQL view, these are the things we're going to do under SQL view. The only thing we can do now, be saving your query, but your output, once you save your output, so I'm going to show you how you can export your output, like this output now, how you can export it to Excel and send it to your, maybe your manager, right? We are getting there. Okay. Now, we've been able to join two tables together, right? Now, let's look at how we can join the three tables together, right? How we can join three tables together. Now, what I did here is what they call SQL optimization, right? That's what they call SQL query. It's part of, right, optimization. You're trying to optimize your query, so trying to reduce. It's also part of it, what they refer to as SQL optimization, right? In case. Now, let's look at how we can join three tables together, right? I'm still going to copy this. I'm still using this. Now I've been able to join two tables together. Then another thing I can do before I join the third table, I want to rearrange. I want the salary ID that is in the middle to come after the staff ID. So I'll just copy it from here. Just copy it from here. Then I'll come to this place. I'll paste it. Then I will delete it here. Right. So you can also rearrange. Then I will can run again. So you can see I prefer it like this, right? Okay. Now you can also make this in a single line like this. I make it in a single line. Make this a single line. Also this. Okay. Now let's join three tables together. Joining three tables now. That's what we want to do. So now we've joined two. We want to join the third table. And if you look at the third table, is payments. Let's look at what we have in our payments. So we have payments ID, we have account number, we have staff ID, we have bank, we have payment. So basically everything here is what we need except the staff ID, right? We need basically everything here except the staff ID. We need the payment ID, we need account number, we need bank, then we need the payment method. So I'll just come to this place, right? I will try to complete this. I will say payment dot payment ID, right, comma payment dot account number, right, comma payment, right, dot bank. We need to know the bank, then payment dot payment method, right? Right. Aha. Now it's still gonna be, so we've joined two. So we now want to join it on the third table now. So I'll come back to this place. Now from employee, join salary on this. So I'll come, the next thing I'm going to do here is to now say join again payment now. Payment, right? Payment on what? On payment dot staff ID equals to, so we are joining it with what? We are joining it with you can join it with employee, you can join with salary. So I can say join it with employee. Let me check. Employee dot staff ID. Right. Now let's check. Okay. Sorry. Okay. So you can see now. So let me rearrange. Let me take payment ID from here to this place. Right. Then make this like this. Make this, then this. Right. Yeah. Okay. So let me check again. So 92. Okay. Two 9 3, another 2 9 3. Employee dot first name, employee dot gender, employee does this, hire date. Okay. Yeah. Comma. Okay. Let's check again. How? Okay. Okay. Thank you. Right. Aha. So you can see now. This we join the three tables together. You can see. So this is how all the tables can be joined. Now we use join, right? So here, what join, inner join, and right join does for you it will return only the output that matches. Then other one that not matches, it will exclude them out, right? Let's say, so for instance, in case of auditing, you want to audit, right? So you want to see the departments that, or the staffs that maybe their record is complete in one department, but their record is not complete in the other department. It can be a customer. It might be a customer that maybe when it's submitted in the documents for account opening, right? The customer service officer that uploaded it in the customer database, the customer has a full information. But maybe when we are trying to, maybe the customer now apply for a loan, right? And in the loan database or investment database, the customer's information is still missing. So it means maybe the document given to the investment officer is not complete, right? Or it can be customer that's ordered for a product, right? In the customer order table, the information is complete, but in the product table, the information is not complete. So you can also check all this by using any other things like full outer join or left join, right? But in case that you just want to see the information that are correct, inner join, right join or normal join is the best, right, for you to use. So now if I come back to this place now, I use left join, right? Let's see what we get. So you can see that we have 24. Now there are a lot of people that in their information is what is mixing, right? Meaning, so all this now can help you to now look at the people that in the employee table their information is missing. Then maybe the information is complete in the salary table, but in the payments table, the salary is also missing. So this is for auditing purpose. So if I export this to Excel now, I can be able to know the staffs using their staff ID, right? You can see that the staff IDs are complete. So I can use the staff ID of this guy to know that, okay, your salary ID is missing, salary ID and payment is missing. Then you can check the department, the salary, account number, banks, and these are information that's missing, right? Okay, so let's take some questions before we call it a day, right? For the this last one, how to join three tables together. In our next class, we'll go over it again before we proceed, right? For those that don't understand, but I believe that joining two tables together is very easy for us now. I think we understand. But the joining three tables together, now next class we're going to look at it again, right? For better understanding. So how do we export data, sir? Right? Don't worry, we are going to do that. We are getting there, right? Like this now, you've written your all your table, you've joined all your tables together. So you want to send the output. These are the things that you can automate, right? You don't want to be manually sending your output, sorry, your results or your data to data. Now, let's say for example, you are a data engineer. Your own is to make the data available for data analysts. So instead of manually sending it, you can automate this, right? That maybe on a daily basis, the person gets it by email, then download it and move it to Power BI or Tableau to build this report that will get there. Can you just explain the difference between outer join? Sorry, check your notes. It's in your notes. I've explained it. Omo. Yeah, it's in your notes. If you have the materials, you can check. Then in our next class, we'll quickly go over it again before we start the class. What if you have more than three tables? It's still the same format. If you have 10 tables, you want to join them together, just follow this format to join them together. Can you share your entire SQL table with us? The table I've shared with you, but the SQL query, I'm going to send it to you now immediately after the class. I didn't understand all at all because I'm using Postgres. It's giving syntax error. Huh. Okay. I don't know. I don't want to promise. But what I can do for you, I can try to write this query in a SQL, in a Postgres, and I shared with this person that is using Postgres. And then secondly, Moji, whatever the error message you are getting, can you put it in a Google? Let's Google give you. I don't want you guys to be lazy. Put it in a ChatGPT. ChatGPT will tell you where your error message. But I don't want you guys to start using ChatGPT now. It will make you guys lazy. That's why I'm not talking about you guys using it to decode where your error message are. AI is to assist us, is to make our work easy for us. But as a starter, as a learner, as a beginner like you, don't jump on using ChatGPT for now. It won't help you, right? I see we use only first name. Yes, you can use anything. You can use first name and second name together. You can use that. Um, Mine is say cannot call method on worker. That has to do with your data type. You might need to check your data type, right? Okay, so share file and we are not on any group up till now. No mail received containing. Okay, the admin is also checking this. Jimmy Emmanuel, right? You have not been added to any group. Wow, that's not good for now, right? So how do we download the SQL? Majeko Dumi, are you just joining the class? We've done this. Please share the files and we are not on any group. Okay, I think I've taken that. Under our higher dates, is there use for the zero? So so we use date time. That's the reason why you can see this is zero, right? We use this date time as our data type when we're creating the table. So that's the reason why you are seeing it. Okay, I think we are good now, right? So we see on Wednesday, right? And I please everyone should go over the video, watch the video, right? Try to practice for better understanding. Thank you, everyone.